introduction. My, na- my name is Alice Jodua Adu. I work with Assure Advisors Insurance Brokers Limited. Assure Advisors Insurance Brokers Limited is an insurance brokerage firm, and we have been in the industry for 8 solid years. Assure Advisors offers insurance consulting services through insurance audits and risk assessments and then policy reviews. We also provide insurance advisory services. With the help of our team, we assist both clients and non-clients in securing all types of insurance services, be it general, health, life, or group life insurance policies, and connect you to reputable providers. We also have a claims unit where we assist both clients and non-clients with their claims. And to why we are gathered virtually this evening, we will soon listen to the presentation, but we would also like to ask that you share the link with others who may be interested or who you think would be interested in this presentation so that they can also benefit from this. We would be very grateful to have friends and families and other clients on this webinar. So please share the link as well. Thank you so much. Before we continue with our presentation, we would also like to ask that you take a few minutes of your time to vote on the poll that you see on your screen. So kindly vote on the poll for us and we could continue, please. Right, so we have the results from the polls, and we are greatly surprised by the responses that we have on here. The first question being, have you heard about transitions policy before? About 70% of you are saying that you have, which is very good, and then 30% of you say that you have not, which is no problem at all. That is why we are here for the presentation today. The second question being, do you agree that funeral planning in our society is stressful? 80% of you say yes, it is, and then about 20% of you say no. Okay, that is no problem at all. So we would move on from the poll and then introduce our speaker for this webinar. Her name is Miss Wendy de Graft Hansen. Miss Wendy is with the Life Insurance Unit of Assure Advisors Insurance Brokers Limited. She is a part of the Transition Sales Project team and a prolific producer, contributing significantly to the performance of the team. So, without further ado, Miss Wendy, your listeners are all ears.
Thank you, Ms. Alice. So as my colleague has already said, I am Wendy de Graft Hansen. I hope everyone can hear me clearly. If you can just send a smiley emoji or something to acknowledge that you can hear me. Right, so we would move on to today's presentation. And as my dearest colleague has already stated, this is a transitions kind of clinic insurance clinic that is going to talk about transitions. And I'm going to share my screen and give you insights of what we have to offer. Let's get, okay. So as she already said, I am with Assure Advisors Insurance Brokers. I am one of the members of the transitions team. And today, to begin this presentation, I would like to first of all engage you with this video that I'm about to display so that you have a pre-insight of what I'm about to present to you this evening.
Hello, Miss Wendy. I believe we're
Hello.
unable to hear the video. So if you
Oh,
could just help us
too
with
bad.
that.
Okay. All right.
Thank
A
you.
minute. All right. So my colleague would kindly display this video for me. The host, kindly share this video for me so my listeners can have a clear understanding and have the audio for the video. My bad. It seems on my end. Okay. Very, I'm very sorry for the technical, you know, it happens. We are using IT and we are in Ghana. So I would eventually show you the video with audio, but I would still like to go on with my presentation so as not to delay anyone's time here. I know everybody's time is very precious to them. So I would just share this presentation with you. Would eventually watch the video. Let me go. Yes. So let's move on. I would work on the audio and then later get you all to listen to it. So today's presentation is going to be in 6 parts. I'm going to talk about 6 different things under this policy. That is the transitions policy. We are going to look at the definition and the purpose of transitions policy, the core benefits or the core services, then the benefits mechanics, comparison, and then I'm going to give you room for questions. I know that definitely you would have questions for me after this presentation. So moving on to our next slide, we have our core services, and you can see our display of images here. The first image shows you the mortuary services that Transitions offers. When we say the mortuary services, I'm sure we all know mortuary service in Ghana, and we know how the condition of the general mortuary services in Ghana are. And if this is what transition has to offer you, I'm sure you would make that a priority, looking at how beautiful, let me say, how neat and beautiful that place is. We have the repatriation service, where if an individual you have covered under this policy is living abroad, we can transport or import the body to Ghana to be buried. We have the graveside decoration. I'm sure that's very self-explanatory. We have the caskets, we have the horse and deceased pickup services, and then we have the chapel and receptions facility. Moving on to our next slide. What then is transition plan policy? What does it entail? In this definition, I'll say that transition plan seeks to provide total convenience by offering funeral services needed at the point of death. So, short to say, transitions offers you services. That is anything that has to do with the burial of an individual or a family member, loved one, whomever is covered under this policy, or even yourself. It transitions is going to take care of everything right from the day of death to the day of burial. That is the definition here. It is also a risk policy. And what is a risk? Death here is a risk, and transitions specializes in that policy, in that area, which is the risk that we are facing in our present times. We know that death is inevitable. No matter what we do, death will come. And that is one thing we fail to realize. And hence, we do not make any provisions towards that. Anyway, we can't determine how our funerals will be, but at least we can make preparations towards that. I know some may beg to differ, but that is my point of view. Our next um, thing about transitions is that it's a whole life term, meaning till an individual who is covered under the policy passes on, it's still covering you. So you have kind of a life cover. It's just like being under the rain. You under the umbrella, you are safer than someone who is still under the rains without any cover. That is what transitions has for you. It's very convenient also because it's offering services. It's going to take off all the load that has to do with you are, in fact, funeral is a day for mourning. It shouldn't be a day where instead of you sitting and thinking about your loved one, who all the memories and everything, you're going about doing whatnot. Yes, we want to prevent that. So therefore, we are saying transitions is one thing that you should consider in order to provide you funeral services on that day. Why should you, as an individual, purchase transitions? I'll say that it has expanded and increased benefit amounts. This is to say that all our amounts are very convenient for everyone, regardless of your pocket. We have packages for every individual, regardless of how much you have to offer or how much you earn as an income. We have package for you. Benefits amounts are there for you to provide services equivalent to such amounts of money. Any cover that you choose under the second reason why you should purchase our policy, any cover you choose for yourself, in case you choose a cover, say 20,000, 30,000, it covers any other individual or any other family member under you under the same amount, meaning that you are getting 20,000, your mom or your dad is also getting 20,000 cover. So whatever service is going to be given to whomever has lost their life would have to correspond with 20,000 or 30,000 package, whichever you chose. It's very flexible also, meaning that you can choose a service today and decide tomorrow you want to change which service. Say you chose mortuary service and tomorrow you think about it, you say, oh no, I want to change to embalming. I want to change to maybe cremation. It's very flexible. All services can be changed at any point in time. It has no age limit as well. Anyone can be covered under this policy. So we are moving on to the next slide. Benefits. That is, I'm going to make you see this. I'm sure we see so many numbers here and we are wondering what at all these numbers mean. Let me first say that as an individual who is purchasing this policy, it's strictly family members that are supposed to be under the policy with you. So you have to choose either a spouse, child, parent, extended family. Parents also, you can choose your in-laws, their family as well, because they are legally your spouse's parents. Meaning that no one can cover their girlfriend. We are sorry to say that, but girlfriend is not a family member. You can choose any other person that is outside this family member category. For our first package, we have the 10,000 Ghana cedis worth of services. So if you're choosing this package, you seek to get services that use, or that is the equivalent of 10,000, sorry, 10,000 Ghana cedis. Our second package is also 15,000. Third package is 30,000. Fourth package, 25,000. Fifth package, 30,000. Sixth, 50,000. And then the seventh package is 70,000. So the eighth package is 100,000. So whichever you wish to choose, whichever, if you feel your pockets can't handle maybe 100,000, you can choose between maybe 20,000, 25,000, 30,000, whichever you see would benefit you regardless of your pocket or your source of income. These benefits are all round and can help any other person regardless of your status or your income. So what are some of the benefits that transition has to offer? The core services of transitions are the funeral arranging services. So we know how funerals are arranged in Ghana. We have the reception. We can talk of the bringing of the body to the chapel, whatever, all those funeral arrangements that go on in our normal funerals in Ghana. That is our funeral arranging services. They also offer mortuary services. So in the case where your family member has passed on, all you have to do is to just call, make it known to us that your family member or your parents or whomever, we're not saying that we're praying them that they should die. That is to say, excuse me to say, we are not praying that anyone's, I have to let you know upfront. These are just services that we offer. Okay. So the mortuary services, as we can see displayed here, what we have to offer: embalming, storage, beautification, facial reconstruction, everything that has to do with mortuary services, we can do it for you. Home undertaking services, also, we offer that. We have caskets in our showrooms. You are being brought to the showroom. Everything will be displayed. You do your choosing, whichever you see befitting, you choose, and then it's given to you to use for burial. We have a chapel on our premises that you can use to do the whole ceremony, the funeral ceremony, in order to say goodbye to your loved one. We also offer reception services, horse services. That is, if you want the body of your family member to be transported, We have that to do for you. We have family vehicle rental services. We have removal services, repatriation services. As I already said, if you want the body to be imported or exported out of the country, imported into the country, it can be done. Graveside decoration setup, the lowering device, green carpets, everything that has to do with the graveside, all those decorations and everything, we've got you sorted. The other services here are something that you can choose not to let transitions do for you. So these are just kind of something at the side, okay? But we offer it, so it's on the table. But we are not saying that it's something that's compulsory to you. We are looking at who can be covered under this policy, the features of this policy. As I said initially in my previous slide, it's only family members. That is to say, parents, grandparents, children, sibling, and spouse. No girlfriend, boyfriend. I have to put this out there that it has to be strictly a family member. So the ages here are that for a main life, the legal age for signing on to any legal contract in Ghana is 18 years. So the minimum age for signing on to this policy is 18 years and it has no maximum age. So you can be as old as 70 and still purchase this policy for yourself. You know that if maybe you feel your time is almost up and you feel it's time that you make preparations or whatever, whichever is good with you. Parents also, we have a minimum age of 31. Grandparents is 44. Children is 1. Sibling 1. Spouse 18. So these are the age ranges for the people you can put under this policy. Now, let's look at the features of this policy. We are going to look at 6 features, okay? These are the main features that transition policy has for you. We have the first one, which is the whole life policy. I've already explained it, but I'm going to talk about it a little further, meaning that when you purchase this policy, it's going to cover you for your whole life. That is why it's called a whole life policy. You're purchasing it to cover yourself through all the storms, everything. You're covering yourselves like an umbrella, as I use as an example. When the storms and the rains come, you are under an umbrella. It serves as a cover for you. That is what Transitions also has. It's a cover for you till the day you pass on, and the services are done for the body or the deceased person. We have also the lapse rule. This is one feature that also features under this transition. It simply means that when the policy doesn't receive subsequent premium payments, meaning your monies are not being received into this policy, it becomes inactive. It's just like having a bank account that you are not using, you are not transaction, there's no transactions on it. It becomes dormant. Same as this. We are not receiving any money. It becomes inactive. You're showing us that maybe you do not want the policy anymore. So it becomes inactive. The third feature here is that it can cover up to 12 lives, can cover as many as 12 people under this policy. And there's no maximum age for this policy. We also have the waiting period. What this waiting period means is that in order to qualify for this service, you have to pay premiums for as much as 6 months before you can qualify for the service. Frequent payments of premiums have to be made for 6 good months in order to qualify or in order to call yourself a benefactor of this policy. And in the case where you've already purchased this policy and gone through the waiting period, if you want to add another individual onto the policy, you have to go through 12 months for that person in order to qualify for this policy or in order to qualify for the benefits. With the inflation protector, it is a flat inflation rate of 15%, meaning that every single year the premiums you pay would increase by 15%. This is to also say that the benefit you are getting, if it is 15,000, is also rising, just as your inflation, just as your premiums is also rising. So how much would I as an individual pay for premium if I'm going to sign up to transitions? What would determine how much I'll pay? That is, your age would be one factor. Why why your age? We would go into that. Your gender, relationship to main life, and then service package selected. So all these are four things that will determine how much you pay to get a benefit which you've chosen out of the 8 packages that I showed in previous slides. We would have, okay, so these are all simplified ones. We have the service package, which are 8 service packages, which I've already showed you in the previous slides. There's also one benefit here that says that in the case where you see that the you can't continue with the policy, there will be surrender benefits, and you'd have to forgo a percentage in order to let us cancel the policy. Also, in the case where the person who purchased the policy, or maybe you purchase for your mom, sorry to say, or God forbid, you pass on, an individual who has purchased the policy passes on, the that is before the age of 60. Let me clarify that. In the case where that individual has passed on before the age of 60, um, now transitions will keep on doing the premium payments for you. This only applies if you were below the age of 50 at the time of sign up. That is the only time you qualify for this. So with this, I also forgot to mention that there's no waiting period on accidental death. So if you make payment today and an individual passes on through a motor accident, domestic accident, there's no waiting period for you to qualify for the services that transition has to offer. You get a full package worth of services. So the lapse rule here, that is I mentioned in previous slide, is being simplified here. It means that the policy will be inactive if premiums are not paid for 4 consecutive months. So policies under this, if you are not receiving your premiums, you are not being consistent with your premium payments, we are going to make the policy inactive. This is the inflation protector I spoke about, 15% automatic premium updates that applies. The surrender benefit here says that within the first to fifth year of cancellation, that is, you are surrendering, you don't want to do the policy anymore, you want to surrender it, you're going to get 5% of all premiums that you've paid. So we normally don't advise our clients or customers that you should stop this policy. Since it's a whole life policy, we know that it's a service policy. We are not going to have to return every premium to you. You would have to surrender something, and therefore 5% will be given to you. If the 6th year to the 10th year, you're going to get 10%, and then the 11th year going forward, you're going to get 15% of how much you've paid. We're going to talk about the mechanics now. And the first point here is that all sums assured of packages will be disclosed to you. So if I'm signing you on as a client of mine, I have to show you that this is the sum assured that you're going to get. These are the services worth of product or worth of package you are going to get at the time of claim. The services to be selected to are going to be at transaction prices only, meaning that the price of things at transitions is going to be what we are going to use the package for, exactly what we are going to use the package for. Clients must select transition services at the point of sign up in order to enjoy this. So you're supposed to choose transitions at the point of sign up when you're speaking with a client or a life planner. You tell them that you want transitions in order to enjoy this benefit. So amendments to services can be made even at the point of claim, meaning that you can change if you chose maybe graveyard decoration, you can change it and you can say you want the equivalent value of the graveside decoration to maybe a horseman or a hearse or transport service. You can change it. It has to be the equivalent of what you got. In the unlikely event where the benefit at the time of claim is insufficient to cover the selected services, the client may be asked to make a top up. So if you wish to get a particular thing and the package you chose is not enough, you may be asked to top up, but it's not going to be anything so substantial since you decided to choose a cover for yourself. Insurance makes sure that you're not going to spend so much. You're not going to take money out of your pocket to do the needful. Okay. So where the client requests for cash instead of services under the package, a penalty of 25% shall be applied. So if you wish to get cash instead of the services, you're going to forego 25% of the package that you got. Where Transitions is unable to offer any of its core services to the clients, a full refund of services will be offered or be paid to the clients. So if any of our core services, none of such is available, we are going to refund all the monies to you. If it is detected or until if this is not detected until a claim arises, the older or oldest policy will be the relevant policy and others will be cancelled. So it has to do with the previous um, one here where we said if the client doesn't get the core services, it can be refunded. A policyholder who takes more than one service plan may have to cancel other subsequent ones. You would have to only choose one service plan under this policy. You can't have more than one service plan. So a policyholder can have only one plan under the transitions policy. So that is where you would cover the lives that you wish to cover. This is a service-based benefit. As I already initially said, it's going to provide you with only services, not cash. This is a service-based benefit. The death of any life assured must be notified to Enterprise Life or Enterprise Funeral Service Ghana immediately to enable it to provide the service. So as soon as your family member passes on, you should notify us and then we will take it from there. That is why we say it is a stress-free policy. It takes away all the stress that has to do with planning a funeral and doing everything that has to do with the funeral. Any notification after the burial of a life assured under the policy will attract a 25% fee to the cash value payable. The policy is to be sold anywhere in Ghana. Okay. So I'm going to try and share the video that I was sharing in the beginning. I know I've spoken a lot, and by now you would want to still see something from us. Kindly let me know if you can hear the audio. Okay, this one doesn't necessarily need an audio, but these are the cars or the horse cars that we offer here at Transitions. Mm, okay.
Showers of blessing, they said. As we made our way to say our final goodbyes, memories came flooding in. It had been tough, but the process was exceptionally smooth. From the moment we entered transitions, we felt a certain calm and assurance. We could do this. We were ushered to the arranging office, where a professional carefully took us through all the requirements. We found just the hearse and casket Papa would have wanted in a casket showroom on the premises. Transitions had even helped bring Papa back home from the States with their special repatriation services. From the private mortuary, where we transported Papa with their removal services, to the embalming room, we were convinced this was the right place. And on the day, when the transitions hearse and fleet of cars safely carried us to their elegant chapel through the soft showers, we held hands, looked into the tearful faces of the hundreds who had come to show support, and found the solace to keep moving on. These are our beautiful eternal memories. What would you like yours to be?
Funeral people. Let me thank Omane Kipi just say from December the 12th until Friday Yakofano. We said in Nimutia Nipano Medene core transitions no one that way. They told me we will promise you one thing. Nipano adene bray and da ubeba befano no sa pepe na ubinyano. And I want to say a big God bless you. One more to tell kanisu bebre my adibia yesre womoma mpupu muti. They did it for us, and I want to say a big thank you to Transition. Allow me to
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Wendy, for that beautiful presentation. It was very informative and it was very well done. Before we would like to let you know that in the chat box, we have a link to a form that you can fill. You can fill if you want to get through to us. I believe that we have some questions in the chat box as well. So Ms. Wendy would now take over and answer some of the questions. The first one being, can three siblings cover one parent? Ms. Wendy, over to you, please. Hello, Wendy. Can you hear us, please?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you too.
Yes. Okay.
So the
Okay.
questions have come in and we
There are
are hoping
there
that
are
you can
some
answer.
questions that are okay. There's some questions I've seen in the chat room.
Yes, please.
Can three siblings cover one parent? Okay. So my colleague Mr. Edward, are you here with me? I would like to just push this question out to Sir Edward, Mr. Edward, who is here on this chat room with us. Kindly address this question for me. Then I take the other one.
Yes.
Mr. Mante.
Yeah, hello, yes.
Yes. All right.
So, can three siblings take the policies differently? The answer is no, because it's a service. And so we cannot offer three different services for the same, let's say, event. So please. But the three siblings could come together and pool their resources together in terms of their finance and then, rather take a policy to cover, either a living father or a mother, and then when there's a demise, the service will be offered looking at the particular benefit that is involved. Yeah, thank you so much. Alice, are you okay?
Yes,
Thank you,
please.
Mr.
Yes,
Edward.
thank you.
I hope the person has been answered um with that
So
question.
could we ask the person whether he may need further clarification?
So, Jessica, I see you asked the question. Kindly let us know in the chat room whether you understand what we. Okay, you're okay. Okay, that's fine. She's okay. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for the question.
Madam Alice, good evening.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, Madam Alice.
Good evening.
This is Michael.
Okay. Hello,
Yeah,
Michael.
yeah. My questions are two. I
All
have
right.
a question from my honest Assure Advisors Brokers Limited at Abosokai on this policy that is requesting that he wanted to do a withdrawal because of the policy. The reason he was given is a working client, and the reason he was given is that his mother is still alive and is not benefiting anything out of it. But as at now that we are talking, I understand there are some percentage deduction in maybe if you can get a cash or not. And that was the specific question he asked at that moment he came to my office. So I want to understand it more so that anytime he comes there, I can give him a better answer than what I'm getting now. Can you please assist me?
Okay, so Michael, if I get you correctly, you want to know for a friend that has the policy and wants
A,
to
a,
get
a
a cash
walk-in.
benefit.
No, he is
A
on the
walk-in.
he is on the policy already, and he's been
Okay.
paying with enterprise. So I want him to like drop to assure advisors so that we can manage his portfolio. Man, I understand it is not like that, but he is saying that what he wants is that can he get money when the mother died because they cannot do any if they do any everything for the funeral for him, he will not get anything.
Okay, so one thing I didn't mention in the beginning is that please kindly let me know which year he did the policy, please. Michael? Hello? Is Michael there? Anyway, let me just quickly just give you with this policy, the core services are 70% of the package value. So meaning that 30% is cash benefit to you. So if you want them to do services for the funeral, the rest of the money that has not been used for the service will be given to you as an individual. Is that okay for you, Michael? If you have something further to say. Is Michael
I
still here or
believe
is it?
that is okay for him. If anything, Michael, I will personally call you and then handle the rest. So
So
I think
yeah,
we
so I
can
think
move
Michael
on.
should just leave his contacts so that we can reach out to him.
Yes, that's a fine idea. So we would personally reach out to him and then continue to help.
Okay, okay, so there's another question here in the chat room where if a policy holder passes on, does it mean that that's the end of the policy or who continues to make the payments? I made in my presentation that there's a death waiver of premium. So if an individual who purchases the policy passes on before the lives covered, there is a benefit there. So before the age of 60, if the person passes on, given that the person purchased the policy before attaining the age of 50 years, transitions will still keep the policy active, meaning premiums will still be made on behalf of the person who has passed on. I believe if the person needs further clarification, you can let me know so that I can give you more on that. Alice, I'm done with answering that question.
Yes, you are. Kindly put your contact in the chat box and then we would call you to explain further if you are not okay with the answer she gave you. But in any case, please go on and then respond to the other questions in the chat box. There's another one. In the case of an extended family, if both parents are deceased, can a guardian be insured? So please take over. Hello, Wendy.
Yes, Alice, kindly repeat what you just said.
Okay, so the question is, in the case of the extended family, if both parents are deceased, can a guardian be insured?
Okay, so a guardian, if the individual, you are going to get the death, you have access to the person's death certificate to show that indeed this person is dead. You are going to have all evidence, all the documents. You can you can cover a guardian under this policy. This policy is strictly family because no other person is going to other family members will not give you access to the documents that will show that indeed this person was a family member or someone close to you who needed this service. So that is why we made it a family member strictly, or strictly family member. But guardian in the sense that the person is playing a parental role. So probably you'll be given access to the person's death certificate, all matters or all documents that pertain to show that the person is passed on. So yes, you can use a guardian or you can insure a guardian under this policy. Thank you. Alice, I'm done with that question.
Yes, please. Thank you so much for that response. We're still open for questions, so if you have any, kindly put them in the chat box. We're also reminding all participants that we still have a form you can fill to get in touch with us, and then we would call you and do our best to assist you with any policy at all. Nanefia, you are saying that your question is not answered. We're very sorry about that. So her question is, please, why the 25% deduction if one chooses cash instead of a service?
I'd like to throw this question to Mr. Mr. Mante. Kindly take charge of this question for me.
Yes, so okay, so Prince is on standby to answer that. So the question is that why what?
Question is that
Yes.
Why the 25% deduction if one chooses cash instead of service?
Why the 25% deduction if one chooses the cash policy other than the transitions policy? Is that a question?
The person is choosing cash instead of the service.
Okay, please. Please.
Hello. Hello, good evening. Can
Hello,
you hear me?
Prince. We can hear you. Please go on.
Okay. So in instances where a client decides to go in for cash instead of the service, because this is a service policy, as Wendy made mention per the earlier presentation that she did, we are fully offering services. So if a client wants the cash benefits, then you have to go in for the other policy, which is the funeral and finance unlimited. For that policy, it gives you a lump sum, a cash value, that you can use to fund the funeral. But since this is a service policy, we are offering funeral services for you. But then if you want to come and then say that, oh, I want to go in for the cash, then the penalty kicks in because it's a service that we are offering. Yes. So basically, that's it. Hope that answers your question.
To add something little to what my dear colleague has said, the services are already there. They have their funeral home there. So everything you need is already there. It's already there. So in the case where you're asking for cash, you would have to now, kind of get that ready and hand it over to you. But because we are offering services, everything has to be offered to you at that package. But if it's cash, it's not something that is our primary or is our primary benefit to you. We are not offering cash benefits. There is a policy for that that offers you cash, but this one is our sole policy is to offer you funeral services. Nanefia, please, I hope you're okay. So over to you, Alice.
Right. Thank you so much for all the questions. I believe that we have no further question. I'm hoping that all questions have been answered and all participants are okay with the answers given. If not, it is still very okay for you to reach out to us or leave your contact in the chat box, or better still, you can fill the form and then we will get back to you this coming week. We're always available to assist you with all your questions regarding this presentation and any other insurance policy that you may have. So in the absence of any other question, I would like to say a big thank you to the live team, Wendy, for that great presentation, and her colleagues for assisting with answering some of the questions. A few key points that I would like to make known is that the Transitions Life Insurance Service is a purely serviced policy that enables you to cover for yourself and then your loved ones. It is affordable, it is reliable, and it is very flexible to suit all your needs. It also has a widespread cover. So please take note of this. And as well, thank you all so very much. This brings our session to a close. We at Assure Advisors would like to say a very big thank you to all participants who joined our presentation today. We would not have been able to do this without you. We're grateful for the support and we wish you a productive week ahead. Thank you all so much and have a good evening. Bye.
Account for enterprise life for one family income security plan, Madam. The policy says sign on a benefit bit the death cover, a bit the total permanent disability cover. On an ABI cover, since 18 baby or cover critical illness, BBB, LBB, abo meaning baby of the policy bit my cover. Into the account for family income security planner of enterprise life war, Madama Ebusu Bia, or from Kofi Kinata, as I'm paid here. Move.
Enterprise, your advantage.